Hey everyone, it seems like you're really interested in how AI is impacting the workplace, and that's what we're going to dive into today. It's something that's getting a lot of attention. It's AI throttling. So the question is, should organizations restrict their employees' access to AI tools? Does it actually protect them, or does it hold them back?
Yeah, that's a really interesting question, and I don't think it has a super simple answer. We've got some really cool sources to help us with this today. There's a blog post that kind of frames this whole debate as a legal case. It makes arguments for and against AI throttling, and then we also have a great LinkedIn discussion that's got some really insightful real-world perspectives.
Oh, wow. So it sounds like we've got a real battle of the minds ahead of us. Let's jump right in. So this blog post sets up the case for AI throttling as defending corporate responsibility. What would you say are the main arguments there?
Well, this side is really all about being cautious. They say that just giving everyone access to powerful AI tools without carefully planning it out is basically like handing out matches in a fireworks factory. It's just asking for trouble.
Okay. Yeah, I see where they're coming from, but isn't that a bit of an extreme analogy?
Yeah, maybe a little bit extreme. But they do raise some important concerns. For example, think about data security. AI tools need a ton of data to function right, and that often includes sensitive information. Stuff like customer details or financial records. And if that data isn't totally locked down, you could have a serious data breach.
Right. A data breach can be a disaster for any organization. It could hurt them financially, and it would definitely damage their reputation. Are there any examples of this happening because of AI, like in the real world?
Oh, for sure. The blog post mentions the Equifax data breach. That was back in 2017. Hackers got away with the personal information of over 147 million people. And while that wasn't directly AI's fault, it definitely shows how vital data security is, especially as we use AI more and more.
So I guess the argument is that by being careful with AI, organizations can be more strategic. They can control how they're using these tools and how that data is being used.
Exactly. It's not about rejecting AI altogether. It's just about having a plan. A measured approach is better than just diving in headfirst. The people who support throttling also say that it can help organizations navigate the whole legal side of AI.
I can see why that would be a concern. I mean, AI is still so new. The laws and regulations are still developing.
Right. You've got regulations like GDPR and CCPA. Those have strict rules about collecting and using personal data. And then you've got new regulations that are specifically for AI, like the EU's AI Act. It's hard to keep up with all of it, especially while you're trying to implement AI across an entire organization. It can cause real headaches. And if you get it wrong, it can be extremely costly.
Yeah, so by throttling AI, they can give themselves some time to figure all of that out, make sure they're doing everything by the book.
Exactly. It's about reducing risk and avoiding legal trouble.
Okay, so we've talked about data security and legal compliance. What other arguments does the defense bring up?
Well, they also say that AI could cause problems with operations and blow budgets if it's implemented too fast or without the right planning.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
If you start relying on AI for really important tasks, but you haven't trained your employees properly or it's not working well with your existing systems, well, you could end up with a big mess.
Exactly. You could have higher costs, project delays, and it could even hurt your reputation if you can't deliver for your customers.
So it sounds like the argument for throttling isn't about being against AI. It's just about being smart and responsible when implementing it.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it. It's about looking at both the benefits and the risks.
Makes sense. But I'm also thinking about the other side of this. What about the arguments against AI throttling? Yeah, I think the blog post called this prosecution for progress or something like that, right?
Yeah, prosecution for progress. And this side is all about embracing AI. They argue that AI can totally transform things and that trying to throttle it is like swimming upstream. You'll use all your energy and you won't get anywhere.
Okay, I'm definitely ready to hear what the prosecution has to say. What are their main points?
Their big argument is about staying competitive. They say that AI is already changing entire industries, like finance, healthcare, retail, manufacturing. The companies that embrace AI are getting ahead. They're becoming more efficient, they're improving the customer experience, and they're innovating faster.
So basically they're saying that if you throttle AI, you risk falling behind your competitors.
Exactly. And they have some real-world examples to back this up. Think about Amazon. They've used AI to create these personalized shopping experiences. They've optimized their logistics, and they're even creating new products and services.
That's a good point. It seems like AI is becoming essential for businesses that want to stay relevant.
That's what they're saying. And they even argue that throttling AI can actually make employees less productive. and
Oh,
that could hurt morale.
oh, really?
Yeah.
I would thought AI would make things easier for employees, free them up from boring tasks so they can focus on more important things.
Yeah, that's the ideal situation. But the prosecution says that if you restrict access to these AI tools, employees are forced to use old processes and manual methods, and that can lead to frustration, burnout, and make people feel like the company's stuck in the past.
It's like giving someone a shovel when a bulldozer is available. Not very motivating.
Exactly. And it's not just about individual employees. The prosecution also argues that this can cost a company money and limit their growth.
How so?
Well, AI can be used to reach new markets, personalize marketing, optimize pricing, and even create new products and services.
So if you limit access to AI tools, you're limiting your company's ability to grow.
Exactly. And that leads to their final argument. Throttling AI stifles innovation. They say innovation is all about trying new things and experimenting.
So if you're too careful with AI, your employees can't discover new and better ways of doing things.
Right. They use the example of Kodak. They didn't embrace digital photography, and they eventually went bankrupt. They're basically saying that AI is the digital photography of today, and companies that don't use it will fail.
That's a pretty powerful comparison. It seems like both sides of this debate have some strong arguments. On one hand, you need to be cautious and protect yourself. But on the other hand, you need to embrace progress and use AI.
It's a tough situation.
A lot of companies are facing this dilemma. So where do you even begin with something this complex? Is there a happy medium? Can you balance these competing priorities?
There is. It's called governed enablement. It's all about finding a way to embrace the potential of AI while also minimizing the risks.